dive into a little bit of a SWOT analysis for some of your recent roles. Let's start with Mumzworld. So the way I would like you to start this is explain briefly what the business model of a platform like Mumzworld look like. Then let's pretty much dive into the strengths, weaknesses, threats, and opportunities, right? And let's try to wrap it up.
So Mum's World started off as a kind of a pioneer in this region for the e-commerce mother, baby, and child products. And this is a brand which is, it's kind of, it was the need of that time. When, if you look back 10, 15 years back in UAE, for example, there was no e-commerce platform or no platform at all which offers a wide variety of mother, baby, child products on your fingertips. So it was the time when this was much needed, and Mums World got registered in UAE, and overnight it was a success because it solved the problem for women, mothers, families, households. They were struggling. Obviously, when you are a young mother, you struggle with so many challenges with kids around the family. But you need that kind of hand holding and comfort and support to kind of ease off those challenges for you. So Mums World, the whole idea of creating Mums World was, it's a world for mothers to help them out.
Sure.
And that really kind of was the starting point.
If I were to throw a curveball here, just from my understanding, Saad, so back in the day, there was this another platform called Souk.com, which is now Amazon, acquired by Amazon. So, Saad, why would a customer want to go to Mum's World and not go to Souk.com and category baby and mother care products? Why?
I think it is still true today. Why would you not go to Amazon? And obviously, I shouldn't be taking names, but just as kind of as an example, because these are two different type of businesses. This is why I'm naming them, but no offense.
No, no, of course.
So why would you go to a place or a platform which offers everything compared to a platform which specializes in particular set of products? So this is the choice, basically, right? So you may kind of decide for yourself, do you want to go to a specialist when you are facing a heart problem, or you go to a GP, that will give you a kind of an advice. Equally, there are qualified doctors, for example, but not the specialist in that area. So this is the difference, I would say. So with Mums World Creation, it was a one-stop platform for your core products in that product category. And you obviously, as a mother, you would not experiment too much with your young ones. So you want a kind of absolutely genuine and a product that is kind of from health and safety standards. It's certified. This is coming from the original premium brands, for example, rather than going to a platform where you could end up buying I don't know, whatever. So this is where the difference comes from. So you establish a brand or a platform which offers genuine products in that product range, and then you have your kind of trust in those. So when you start shopping, you find the genuineness of those products, the comfort, the health and safety, all those things, the flexibility, because that platform offers you or is built around that comfort for you.
Sure.
So that is a targeted kind of business idea, rather than offering everything from one kind of platform.
Perfect. So, Saad, let's dive into some of the threats, opportunities, weaknesses of this kind of business. So, strengths may, जैसे आपने already you talked about, you're talking to a particular niche, so people would be more inclined to come to you. I think that's a clear strength. What else?
The strength, I think there are many strengths, I would say. One is that the e-commerce model itself is can be seen as a strength, because this gives you the flexibility to enter any market, right? So compared to a physical store dependency, where you are kind of stuck with, you need to sort out the initial investment, you need to do a lot range of kind of other kind of things to set up your first
scale.
store in
So
that kind of
reach.
reach. Yeah, so it's a reach is to the masses.
ठीक है.
And so e-commerce particularly, I would say, is a
बिल्कुल.
strength, and this was the first and one of the reason I moved into e-commerce industry in the first place. That it gives you the flexibility. The business model is amazing. You can just scale it up depending on how deep your pockets are in terms
Of
of
course.
digital marketing, but it can be easily scaled up. So that is another strength. Strength, I think, I would also say that the it's kind of a strength, but it's a threat as well. But it's the you establish a platform that is a very kind of specific to a niche. So it gives you an edge over others. Similar to the examples we were discussing just before this. um, you kind of already taking out your kind of competition, just because you are a niche
सही.
kind of platform. So that is another strength, I would say, for Mum's World, where now we have competition, but back in the days, for example, when you are trying to create something which others are already kind of have implemented, but you need to have that niche kind of customer segment to target. So that is another kind of strength, I would say, that Mumford had, because it already kind of was shining way above other
Perfect.
competition.
Perfect.
um, I think strengths are definitely there. Obviously, in this market, e-commerce, when Mumford was established, there was no e-commerce platform. You still had to go to malls and retail stores to
Okay.
to find products, and it is often the case where when you end up in a store, you will not find that right product for that suits your kind of requirements, compared to e-commerce, where you have listed 400,000 plus products. So there's a way more kind of variety to offer and to choose from, and different pricing, obviously, as well. So I think that was another kind of, I would say, a success, clear success for the
Sure.
business. So strengths,
Yeah.
definitely, these are the strengths where you are a kind of a premium kind of, product of there's a premium product offer, from that particular kind of, genuine brands and all. Then, but that comes with weaknesses as well. So weaknesses, I would say that it's a very costly model to operate. You have to constantly be upgrading your technology to be kind of equally kind of remain competitive in the market,
बिल्कुल.
compared to other competitors. So it's a very costly model. You have to kind of, it's a very kind of costly, I would say, supply chain, because someone can easily go and make an order online, but all the legwork behind the scenes, from storing your products, procuring your products, to uh, picking them from the warehouse, delivered to the end customer, and then the returns, cancellations if the customer doesn't like it, and all that. So that is kind of, it adds to the cost.
सही.
So I would just try to kind of summarize that in
Wonderful.
in easy terms. Threats, obviously, new competition comes into play, which you were not prepared for. For example, if a equally good competition comes to market with very deep pockets in terms of, because you may have a competition who is just set up to capture the market, for example,
100%.
and there is a huge kind of investment just to kind of spend on the digital marketing and reach to the customers. That kind of, it adds to the challenge. But I think I would just kind of keep it to here.
बिल्कुल.
There are definitely positives. Obviously, it's a difficult market. Market dynamics are changing every day, so it adds to the challenges.
Excellent, Saad. Saad, and very briefly, would you be also able to visualize a P&L and a balance sheet of Mum's World, or a business like Mum's World? For what are the key items that feature on their P&L, which basically are the swing factors for their P&L and balance sheet?
I think it's definitely a top line growth.
Sure.
So year and year you have to kind of achieve a certain growth. Otherwise, it's very difficult to kind of, if you don't generate good margins. In our kind of finance terms, we say the PC1, PC2, PC3 margins, for example. If your margins are not healthy, it's you're setting yourselves up for a kind of a failure, because your fixed costs keep on increasing over time, whether it's you started off with 10 people kind of headcount strength, and then now you are a 300 or 500 kind of headcount, for example. Your costs are constantly on the rise. So you need to be generating enough healthy margins and the top line to kind of be able to become profitable at the bottom line and be able to kind of survive in the market.
Wonderful. Saad, quick question here. Saad, was Mumsworld like a two-sided network where sellers would come in and they would
So
sell
it's
their
not a
products, or is
marketplace.
okay? It's
So
not a
it's not a
market. They
market.
would buy the inventory and then sell
Yes.
it. Okay.
So it at least till the time I was there, it wasn't a marketplace.
Sure, sure.
So, but yeah, so this is a difference where it's a easier kind of operating model. Obviously, it comes with its own challenges,
Sure.
but you don't kind of take on the risk of building your own inventory.
Sure, absolutely.
Compared to a
So
uni brand.
100%. So as you said, there is revenue, then there of course cost of goods sold, and then other things that will feature on
Many
your
things,
P&L
yeah. I
would
think
be
I think the main things are the logistics, for example,
correct.
of it. It's very kind of, you have to be very careful with your logistics, your discounts, for example, because with e-commerce the problem is that you knowingly or unknowingly enter into a price war with your competition. So you have to be kind of very careful with your pricing strategy, with your discounts strategy, because you're building customer behaviors at the same time as well. Because if your customer, for example, in particular part of the world, your customers are kind of are looking to have discounts offered by you.
Correct.
You cannot go full price. So but that means that you are sacrificing a portion of your margins.
100%.
So it's basically that. So and if your competitor brings the price down, then where do you stop?
100%.
So all those kind of challenges, I would say.
Totally.
So your technology costs, your logistics costs, your digital marketing, which is a big part of your e-commerce, because you have to reach, the whole idea of being a e-commerce player is to reach to masses.
Because you mentioned about logistics, this is also a labor intensive kind of business, so you'd have a lot of headcount to manage the logistics and everything
So
else.
it can so there are multiple models. One is that you have your own headcount, and you have your own delivery kind of fleet, or you outsource it. And that helps you in kind of in those periods where it is a little quiet, for example, in the
Sure.
market. You kind of scale back and you save money
Sure.
compared to your kind of full-time employees and having your own fleet.
Excellent, Saad. I think that wraps up very well. And on the balance sheet, right? On the balance sheet side, some of the key items that you would expect to feature. I'm already thinking working capital would be there. And
Yeah, absolutely. Inventory. So if you are a uni brand, you build your own inventory, and you deal with all that, those challenges that comes with that obsolescence. If you are in that kind of product range, for example, obsolescence, expiries, non-moving, slow moving, taking on provisions, all those kind of liquidations of that inventory, all those kind of things are, if it is not done correctly, it will hurt really bad
Yeah.
your balance sheet.
But Saad, help me understand. So the working capital situation wouldn't be very bad. Why I say this, because customer is going to pay you in advance anyway, right?
So
it's
cash
receivables,
conversion is good,
right? Huh.
but if you are
If you can,
yeah, it's a little more complex than that,
okay.
because for example, if you are a uni brand, and I keep referring to that term, that means that you are one single brand. So we sell from Mumsworld, for example, then with the name Mumsworld, rather than being a marketplace where there are multiple sellers
Sure.
offering products with their own brand names, for example. So you have to buy your inventory, and obviously there are those things, private label, for example, if you've heard of all those kind of things as
Totally.
well. So that is again big in the market. So for that, you place orders 3 months in advance.
Yes.
Often it's a Chinese manufacturer sitting somewhere in the China. So you place those orders, it comes to kind of your doorstep, and your cash is stuck all this journey, right? So you invest upfront, and then there's a cash conversion cycle. Cash conversion is quick when the customer places the order.
Makes
But
sense.
what if the customer places order 6 months down the line?
Sure.
So you keep that kind of inventory in your stock, and it is a working capital tied up in that inventory.
100%.
So cash conversion is quicker in e-commerce, and in retail as well. But the challenge of building up your inventory and
Gotcha.
keeping your working capital tied up in that
Okay. I think
is a real challenge. Yes.
what's interesting what you said, which I wasn't aware of before, is that you have to pay for your inventory in advance, so that your working capital is already negative. Then you 100%, and then you have to wait for n number of days for inventory to come, and then when it comes in, after that you have to wait for n number of days for it to get sold. So all
But
that
having
period.
said that, it's there are different strategies, you
Sure.
know. So, for example, you optimize your kind of inventory cycle, your inventory turnover, your sales turnover, you know, all those things.
Gee,
So you place, you know, smaller orders, and you
totally.
break your orders in multiple phases, for example, just so that, you know, by the time you realize kind of, you know, cash from the inventory, you place other order,
100%.
and it keeps going on like that.
So what I take away from this, Saad, is a lot of balance sheet play goes into the working capital management. That is basically the heartbeat of the business.